Good afternoon. Welcome to my next vlog. It's Friday the 19th of January 2024. Coming from a very cold Norfolk in the UK. It's 0 degrees, and I know a lot of my American viewers will say that's not cold, it's quite warm. 0 degrees is probably a little bit cold, what we normally have in January. It's normally 5 or 6 degrees, but it's normally our coldest month alongside February, so it's fine. It's blue sky, but it's a bit nippy for us. Excuse me. I just want to say a big thank you, a really massive thank you for everybody who watched my last video. I released it on the 16th of December, and to this date, until 5 minutes ago, I'd had over 30,000 views, which is just absolutely amazing. I'd gained 250 subscribers. It's just absolutely crazy. And I really do appreciate every person who commented and who liked and shared it. Every comment I do read, and I do take on board what people are saying, whether it's advice, tips and tricks, and try this and try that. I do take it on board, and I do read them through. I try and get back to as many people as I can. So thanks so much for people for watching it. The crazy thing is I sent it out on the December the 16th, and for 3 weeks I had absolutely nothing. Probably 10, 20 views an hour, which is absolutely fine by me. But we were sitting on about 200 or 300 views. Then all of a sudden, on the 4th of January, one Thursday night, I was getting my 10, 15 views an hour. Then it just went up to 180 views at 9 o'clock, which was just, I don't really know why. For the next 5 hours, I averaged 180, 140, 150, 160, 180. Sort of nearly got 600 or 700 extra views in the 5 hour period. So the only thing I could put it down to is something happened in Australia. Because I got a lot of comments at that time from people in Sydney and Melbourne. And had a guy, Stephen Mead from Foxton Bay in New Zealand on the North Island, who messaged me to say he was having his prostatectomy, and I gave him a few little tips and tricks, and he'd watched my videos. So it just seems strange that 9 PM on a Thursday night it just went out. So the next night I watched it again, very close at 9 o'clock, but nothing happened that night. It just went quiet again. But on the Saturday it went again, 9 o'clock at night. For 5 hours I was over 200 views an hour, peaking at about 242 at about midnight. Again, crazy. Then it started to pick up again. Last week it was just averaging probably about 150, 160 views an hour. And as we speak, I say over 30,000 people have viewed it. So mind-blowing. I gained 250 subscribers. And we're now nearly on about 869, 870, which is getting to that 1,000 mark, which again, it's just for me, it's just absolutely fantastic. It's given me a bit of a buzz again, it's got me going again, and we'll do more content for everybody. So we're nearly there, just another 130, and then we can put adverts on the channel. And as I said before in my other videos, that if I do make any money, I know at my small YouTube status I'm not going to earn a lot of money, but any money we do earn on the adverts I'll put into a cancer charity, whether it be prostate or a local cancer charity here in Norfolk. So yeah, it's just been mind-blowing the last 2 weeks. I've got a lot of things to say today, so it might be a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but I've got some notes in the corner here, so if my eyes go over there, you can see where I'm going. So anything I say in the next sort of 10-15 minutes is I'm not medically trained. I'm a guy who I've had a prostatectomy back in April, and I've just been vlogging my journey as we go. So everything I say is I've just researched. As I say, I don't have any medical background. I did get an O-level back in school days at high school, and the only thing with science I ever knew was about a Bunsen burner. And with the Bunsen burner, I think I burnt my friend's homework one night, so that's as far as I know about science. A Bunsen burner. As you can see from the channel, the description, I've called it King Charles and I. As many people are aware, in the last few days here in the UK, King Charles has come out, and the royal family have come out and said that Charles have a prostate issue. He's publicly come out and said he has an issue. It's called a BPH. BPH stands for benign prostatic hyperplasia, which basically means an enlarged prostate. I believe in the next few days he's going to be admitted to hospital for a corrective procedure. The word benign is non-cancerous, so that's a good start. 50% of people over 50 will have this condition, and everybody has a different size prostate. Symptoms. What would have been his symptoms? Frequent and urgency to go to the toilet, increase in nighttime activity, maybe getting up 3 or 4 times a night, may have trouble starting to pee, weak stream, stop starting, dribbling, and I think the big thing is unable to empty the bladder. Now the problem then comes is that if you can't empty the bladder, then it just backs up to maybe the kidneys. You could have a kidney infection, a UTI, a urine tract infection. So it's best to get it sorted out. Now, what causes an enlarged prostate? Well, nobody really knows. It could do with aging. As from 50 years onwards, your prostate gets a little bit bigger each year. It could do with hormone change. And let's say your prostate starts as the size of a walnut, but every year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So Charles probably had a problem with his pee. He probably went to the doctor, who done some tests, and I believe he'd probably had a PSA test, which we all hear about PSA testing, and it may come back in the normal range, 3, 4, 5 on the PSA. So they'd probably send him for an MRI, and the MRI would measure your prostate, and he'd probably got, say, an enlarged prostate, which was causing his problems. So I believe that's what's happened. So basically BPH, benign prostatic hyperplasia. Basically what's happening is in your bladder, which is the top of your prostate, let's put it there, you have your urethra, which then goes through the penis, which is your pee. And basically what's happening is the bladder is enlarged, so in the middle, which is the urethra, it's pushing against the urethra to make it a very, 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 very small tube. Normally the tube is say not that, but that big. Both sides are pushing in, and it's causing a very, very thin piece of urethra. And what's happening there is that it will stop the pee. It will just cause big problems. So what's the treatment? Well, again, I'm not sure what treatment Charles is having. There are different treatments. One of the things is called TURP, transurethral resection of the prostate. What they'll probably do is go in through I think it's called a resectometer. They'll go through the urethra, and what they'll do is they'll go to the prostate and start scraping out either side of the prostate to allow that urethra to go back to its normal size again. So around the sides where the problem is, where the narrowing is, they'll just scrape out and scrape out and scrape out and scrape out until the urethra is the normal size. There is something called green light laser, where again they'll go through the urethra and they'll burn out the sides of the prostate. They can do water, steam, they can do water jets, they can blast out through that. And something else they can do is a Eurolift. Eurolift is basically going again through through the urethra, and what they do is they tie back the prostate. They put an implant in and they tie it back, so again it widens up the urethra. It's like a stent, I suppose, in your heart. Just put it in there, so tie it back, tie it back, tie it back, tie it back, so then that urethra goes back to the normal size. I'm not too sure. We haven't heard exactly what treatment it's having, but I would imagine it's one of them. I'd imagine so. Has a couple of nights stay in hospital, probably with a catheter, and just to let things heal up, and hopefully they'll be all okay. It's a common procedure, and so the good thing is it's benign, so it's good. Charles and the royal family do spend their Christmases at Sandringham in the Norfolk, where I live in the county, so I wish him all the best to his recovery. So the second part of the title, King Charles and I. So my name is Neil Davidson, 53 years old, from Norfolk in the UK. I had a prostatectomy back in April 23 and had no symptoms, all par just getting up in the middle of the night for one wee, and that was it. I found it on a random blood test in Latvia. It cost me 20 quid for a full blood test, and it picked up a 5.6 PSA. Went back the next day and the PSA hadn't moved. It's still 5.6, 5.7. So we had the prostatectomy in April, and the pathology report came back as I had 5 3+4s, but unfortunately I had a positive margin. Positive margin is, again, one which is pushing right against the sides of the prostate. He done nerve sparing, so I lost a little bit of my nerves, which affects other things, incontinence and different things, but we're fully recovered there. So throughout had the MRIs and all the biopsies and everything, but say it was contained as a P2C, so it's contained within. So the PSAs I had afterwards, you have a 6-week test, PSA test here in the UK, and that came back undetected, which was fantastic. It was less than 0.10, which was, I thought it was done and dusted. I put one of my videos out in May. It's called Maybe My Last Video About Prostate Cancer, and had the good news, and I suppose I jumped the gun a bit, and I got 55,000 views on that, so fantastic. Went back to Latvia in August, had another test, come back 0.1. So it went up one from undetected to 0.1, although still being very, very small. It's still an increase. October again was 0.1, and November was 0.1. So on my other video I've just done in December, I explained that I want to try and get a test to show where I was in the 0.1. So I want a 2 decimal place test, and we have a sign in the UK, asked about face. I needed to find an external private people who would do this test, because my NHS in Norfolk only done to a 1 decimal place. I wanted 2 decimal places. I want to know whether I was 0.11, 0.14, 0.17, 0.19. I just want to know where I was and how quick it was rising. The surgeon did say to me, after looking at the pathology report, that they'd missed something. The MRI showed something a little bit different to what he cut out, and I'm still waiting for some answers from them where they think it still is. My guess is that where he showed me is right at the apex of the prostate. That's where the naughty one was on the side there, but I think he's now saying the pathology said there was there. So I believe what may have happened, it may have touched the urethra, and they've pulled the urethra up to the bladder, and obviously to attach that, and I believe it's there somewhere. So we won't know until next month. So I had a thought how I was going to do this. I spoke to a company, a charity called the Graham Fulford Charity Foundation, who what they do is basically go to a lot of men's clubs in the UK, rugby clubs, Lions clubs, Masonic clubs, and for a very affordable price do random blood tests for men who are worried. If I was going to do a full blood test privately again from somewhere else, they want £125. Graham Fulford do one for £25. So I spoke to them. They sent me a home test kit. The home test kit come with some lancets and a little tube you had to fill. So you just prick your finger, put some blood in, but I couldn't get enough blood. I had to have sort of like that much blood to send away, so I just couldn't do it. I pricked another finger, just couldn't get enough out. So what I done was I spoke to them and said that, can we try and do this another way? I couldn't go to their meetings or their rugby clubs because they are very much South England and North West, and I'm in the East, and the nearest one was probably about 150 miles away. So Susan Hart, who's a trustee, spoke to the lab, and the lab sent me a blood test, a vacutainer, for me to take to the GP. The GP agreed to take the blood for me and for me to send away to the Graham Fulford testing centre. It's called mypsatesting.co.uk if anyone is interested. So I sent that back on the 16th of January, which was a few days ago, and within 24 hours, 48 hours, I got the result. So the result come back at 0.21. Whereas if you're following and you know about the prostate, 0.2 is normally the sign for a reoccurrence. So it answered the question, but I was hoping I was going to see 0.11, 0.15, 0.16, but no, it come back 0.21. So where we stand at the minute is I've got a blood test on the 13th of February at the GP, which is linked to the NHS here in Norfolk, and that's my 3-monthly one from November, and we know it's going to come back 0.2. So a week later I've got a meeting, an appointment with the GP at Norfolk, Mr. Illy, who's the consultant surgeon. He will discuss where now. Now I believe from speaking to him back in December that he's not going to do nothing until it gets to 0.4. Don't know why. I can understand they say that the PSMA scan won't detect anything 0.2 and below, but my argument will be is I'm 0.21, and give it another month I'll probably be 0.24, 0.25, I don't know. What I might do is order another test through the Graham Fulford for 2 decimal place, and if that comes back 0.26, I want to take that up there and say, look, it's gone from 0.21 to 0.26. Can we start ordering or start thinking about what the next treatment will be? So it is what it is. I think what would probably happen then is they'd do a PET PSMA scan, which will see exactly what's happened and where it is. And I suppose the next treatments will probably be ADT, androgen deprivation therapy, which is something they give you, whether it be tablet or a injection, and that just starves off the testosterone, and the testosterone is the food for the cancer. If they can try and kill that off, then sometimes the tumours will shrink and go away. But I believe, not too sure at the minute, but I believe they'll try and contain it and shrink it a little bit while the radiation tries to zap it and go from there. So we haven't got that far yet, but I knew it was coming. So again, over the last month, I have mentally prepared myself for this. I could see a little rise, but it's just a matter of just sitting and waiting. But I've done a lot of research. I am very much a factual person. I want to know what is happening and where we go from now. Again, then I can bring it over to yourself on YouTube to try and break it down and to try and show people exactly where we are. So yeah, it's not the best news, but you know, I don't really have a problem with it. It was going to come. I got myself ready. It was expected, and say I just want to try and get things rolling as quickly as we can, rather than waiting another month, but not allowed to bring the test forward anymore because it's a 3-month test. even though it's going to be 0.2. I think all I can do now is take another 2 decimal place test and then say take it to him, and we can sort of try and plot from month to month what the steepness of the graph is. I say if I know it's going to go to 0.4, then 0.21, 0.24, 0.27, I'll know roughly how long it's going to take. So it's just the waiting. The waiting is the killer. It's more than anything. So that's what they'll do, I believe. So what I'm going to do is have another video in a month's time after my meeting with a surgeon, just to show people what's going to happen. It is what it is. I'm not. What can I do? You know, it is. I just want to, before I go, have a few shout outs to a few people. I want to say a big thank you to Susan Hart, who is a trustee at the Graham Fulford Charity Foundation. She helped me get this 2 decimal place test, and say for £25 I could get 5 tests for the price of 1 at a laboratory here in Norfolk. So a massive thank you to them. And so just, you know, what they do is they do organise, say at rugby clubs, they'll go along, you have to book online, and it's very, very easy. You just sign up, you book online, you go for your test, and they'll come back to you within sort of 36 hours or 48 hours with a test, and then they'll try and follow up if there's a problem. So for £25, you know, I really, 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 really do think it's such an affordable an amount. They're doing a fantastic job to raise the awareness of prostate and catching it as early as they can. And for £25, you know, it could save your life. You know, I was lucky in Latvia by a test for £20, and I'm hoping that, yes, okay, I haven't been that lucky so far, but you know, with the ADT and radiation, hopefully we'll get to it now rather than something 10 years down the line. So, you know, if anyone's interested, please look at them online, Graham Fulford Charity, or my PSA testing.co.uk, and they'll show you the events. You click on an event, you just book yourself in, go for the tests, and job done. It's such a peace of mind for a very, 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 very small amount of money. So thank you very much, Susan, for organising the test kit to come to me. And that some people who are very close to me, my family, my friends at work, my partner, for putting up with me over the last few months, talking about prostate cancer all the time, and all my Tenerife friends. I say my YouTube channel is called Neil Davison Tenerife. I have some very good friends over in Tenerife and people who do go to Tenerife. I am the owner of a Facebook group called Tenerife Friends. And there's a lot of people on there who watch my videos and give me the support. And then the mental side, you know, to just privately message me every day, how are you? It really does mean a lot. It doesn't cost a lot to do it, but it does mean a lot for someone who's going through something. It just keeps you cheered up a bit, and you can have loads of days, you can have high days. It's just normal, it's part and parcel. But I have very, very good, some good friends there who do keep an eye on me. I'm going to Tenerife for 5 days in March, meeting some friends over there who are booked the same time as myself. So we, you know, it's just to recharge the batteries and just keep yourself going on this journey. So, so yeah. So a big thank you to all them. I say all the friends and family at work for, again, just putting up with me. The last people I wanted to say a big thank you to is a couple who I just sort of know him through the Tenerife vlogs, really. He goes to Tenerife just like myself and just try and walk around and just do a few vlogs. His name Darren Preston, Daz Preston 69 is his YouTube, and his partner was his wife Yan, who you know, I've got to know him for the last couple of weeks, and Darren unfortunately lost his daughter last year, I believe through cancer, and he's just trying to get his life back on track. And he's a good lad, he's a good, honest lad, he really, really is. And he just need a little bit of support, a little bit of encouragement, just a bit of love, if that's the word. So anybody who just, you know, got the time, just go over to Daz Preston 69 is his YouTube, just to give him a bit of support. And also his partner, his wife Yan, Jan, she's decided to change her lifestyle and go on a diet, healthy eating, and she just decided to get her own YouTube channel, and just to try and, you know, just to give herself a chance just to lose a little bit of weight. And again, any person who's just go over there and just give her some support if you can. I'm not asking you to subscribe, but you know, it's a mental health thing. She's obviously battling through this, and she just wants some encouragement. She just wants some views on her channel, and she's very new to it. She's very raw, if that's the word. She's just making different foods, some healthy options. So anybody who's interested, her channel name is Yanbos, JHANBOS, Yanbos Journey. Come from Mansfield, very lovely couple, and so you say it's all about mental health. Just give her a chance, give her some support, give her some love, and I'm sure they both will appreciate it. Very good, very nice couple. So I've known him for a couple of 2 or 3 weeks, and we do message each other sort of most nights just to keep everyone going, basically keep everyone sort of cheered up and encouraged. So that's 25 minutes of rambling. I will do another one in February, just after the appointment with the surgeon, to see where we go. I've got a fair idea what will happen. It'll be a waiting game until we get to 0.4, and then we'll start the next round. So it's round 2. So yeah, there's a lot to put in today. So again, really do appreciate every person who watches my videos and subscribe. And I say I'm 870. There's no way when I first started doing this that I'd even think I'd get 100 to 200 subscribers. You know, I always say, why do people want to watch me for? But you know, I got some really good comments from, say, Australia and New Zealand, and a big shout out to all the American friends. American and Canada are one of my biggest people who watch this. Really do appreciate just people watching. So yeah, 30,000 views on the video I've got out now is just, for someone like me, it's mind-blowing, because you know, I ramble on, but I want to just try and get out to those people who just, you know, probably going through the same thing as me. We know if you look on YouTube, there's not a lot of British people who'll sit here in front the camera and just talk about it. For me, you know, I've always said it's my problem's a shared problem. By me talking to you, I know that I'm not on my own. And so with the comments I've been getting from all around the world, so some advice, some tips and tricks, try this, try that, do this, do that. It's been brilliant, and I do read every one, and I try and take the advice and try different things. And I say, for all the advice I get, I can try and then come back to you, because not every person can sit on in front of a camera and just ramble on. I don't know how this video is going to come out like, but you know, I don't care. I don't edit. This is the thing, I don't edit. I'm not into editing yet. Plug, play, send. So this might not go out. I say, if you get the algorithms on YouTube, you do. If you don't, you don't. I've done quite a few videos during the summer where just haven't gone out, but I hope this one does. You know, I've called it, it's not so much clickbait. There's a lot of things in YouTube at the minute about clickbait, but I thought I'll call it King Charles and I. You know, he's going through a prostate problem. He's come onto media. The media here in the UK have picked up, and I know the big radio stations, Radio 2, have just had a big thing on prostate cancer and prostate BPH, and so, you know, it's all about raising that awareness. So if anybody from the UK or anywhere is really worried about some symptoms, just please go and get checked out. It's nothing, you know. Hopefully once things get going, it's prolonged my life for £20. You know, what's £20? And say, anybody in the UK, look at the Graham Fulford Charity Foundation, do a fantastic job. And I say, if you're in the south of England and the west and the northwest, they do a lot of these lines, rugby clubs. Just go along, get tested, and then you know. If you know, you know. I know a lot of people don't want to know, but I think that's negative at the end of the day. If you know and you catch it early, especially my age, 52, 53, then you've got a better chance of survival, and the treatment should be that better for you. So it's nearly 30 minutes. If you've lasted this long, thank you very much. I know it's been one of my longest videos, but I want to try and get a few things in, and just to see where we go. So thank you very much for watching. Again, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in February for the next one. So thank you very much again.